Indiana Pacers general manager raises doubts about Buddy Hield trade. Jayson Tatum's injury concerns the Boston Celtics. Clippers sign contract with NBA suspended player. Welcome to Free Throw TV, your top destination for the latest basketball news and analysis. As you could tell from the introduction, in this video, we'll be discussing these three significant NBA stories. So, let's get started with the news. Let's kick things off by discussing the Buddy Hield trade saga. The NBA market was buzzing last week with news that Buddy Hield was available for trade by the Indiana Pacers. However, it seems things are not as straightforward as they appear. The franchise's general manager, Chad Buchanan, admitted there's a standoff between the parties, but that doesn't mean a trade is imminent. Basketball is a business, and sometimes that aspect comes to the forefront. Buddy is someone we love to have on our roster, and therefore, we want to keep him. We've had discussions about a contract extension, and there's still no agreement, but these negotiations continue. It's not over yet, so there's no drastic decision to make, clarified the executive during a press conference this week. The Pacers, in fact, don't need to rush into trading Hield. The sharpshooter is entering the final year of his contract but remains eligible for a preseason extension throughout the year. In essence, a deal could be negotiated until June 30th of next year. So, the likelihood is that there will be real pressure to trade him only at the next trade deadline. First and foremost, we have no intention of trading Buddy at the moment. But if any proposals come up, it's our obligation to listen. And if there's a chance to improve the team, we need to consider it no matter who's involved. That's my job, but initially, I don't consider Buddy to be available, explained the executive. Buchanan's version contradicts what was reported in recent days. According to Shams Charania of The Athletic, the Pacers and Buddy Hield had a verbal agreement to seek a trade. The differences in expectations regarding a new contract were enormous between the parties. The executive insists that there's no chance the shooting guard won't report to camp. For example, I think Buddy, first and foremost, will be with us and be very professional. He has always been excited to be part of the team and, furthermore, loves playing with this roster. He has a natural connection with Tyrese Halliburton. I think he will perform normally as we try to find a consensus in our negotiations, evaluated the general manager. Buchanan emphasized that negotiations are ongoing. Therefore, don't expect final news about Hield's status with the Pacers anytime soon. Buddy loves playing here but wants to be in a situation where he has long-term security. I understand that. However, it needs to be an ideal situation not only for him but also for the team, he concluded. It's normal for executives to be discreet about imminent trade situations. After all, if everyone knows a player is going to be traded, their value automatically decreases. So, Buchanan's statement may be just that. However, Halliburton is also on the same page. The point guard asserted that there's no chance his friend is about to leave. If you think a trade might happen, and I'm not aware, you guys are clowns. Just kidding, this happens all the time. But I can guarantee you, not this time. You can bet that I would know, because Buddy would have told me. I imagine he would have called me, crying, saying he's leaving, joked the young star. Now, moving on to the next piece of news about Jayson Tatum's injury. According to ESPN's Ramona Shelburne, Jayson Tatum has a wrist injury that's causing concern for the Boston Celtics. The star forward has been dealing with a fracture in his left wrist since the playoffs. Furthermore, since then, he has experienced some discomfort and even consulted specialists to assess the risks of the injury. However, he decided not to undergo any surgical procedures. Tatum entered the preseason thinking he might need surgery on his non-dominant wrist. He consulted several specialists and essentially decided not to have the surgery, announced Shelburne on the NBA Today program. In this case, the Celtics forward opted for a hydrocortisone injection. This anti-inflammatory helps combat redness, swelling, and skin irritation. Tatum informed Shelburne that his wrist is really feeling good for the start of the 2023-24 season. Tatum has been dealing with wrist injuries since the 2021-22 playoffs and even used the same cortisone injection method to lead the Celtics to the finals, where they lost to the Golden State Warriors. Since then, the 25-year-old player has proven to be resilient to injuries. Maybe. "I don't want to say yes, and I don't want to say no," Tatum told reporters back in January when asked if the issue might require surgery. "It's something we have to look at when the season is over." Interestingly, the wrist issue didn't affect his performance on the court. In fact, he posted career-high averages last season, with 30.1 points, 8.8 rebounds, 4.6 assists, and 1.1 steals per game. Boston remained a top contender and only fell in the Eastern Conference Finals to the Miami Heat. The hope now is that Jayson Tatum won't experience any further wrist pain and can have a healthy season with the Boston Celtics. There's even the possibility that he'll take on the role of the team's primary point guard. The forward has been preparing for this new role, as revealed by the journalist. Tatum will spend a lot of time as the Celtics point guard. When he was in Los Angeles, that was one of the things he was working on, Shelburne disclosed. Moreover, this was one of the things he did in the playoffs. He often initiated the offense. I believe he'll have that role next season. Our next story is about a player who was suspended by the NBA last season. The Los Angeles Clippers have signed young Josh Primo, a player who was suspended by the NBA last season. According to ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski, the contract is of the two-way variety. This means he's eligible to play in both Clippers games and for their G League affiliate, the Ontario Clippers. The former San Antonio Spurs player was suspended for 4 games by the NBA just this Friday, 29th. The decision came after an investigation by the league, in which it was discovered that he exposed himself to women. The accusation dates back to October of last year when a former team psychologist filed a lawsuit against Primo. Hillary Cawthon alleged that the Spurs ignored her repeated reports of indecent exposure. The punishment is without pay and for conduct detrimental to the NBA. The league conducted its own investigation and consulted relevant experts. After this process, it was found that Primo engaged in offensive, inappropriate behavior by exposing himself to women, the league stated. Primo maintains that his behavior was not intentional. The league found no evidence of him engaging in any sexual conduct or any misconduct beyond these brief exposures. However, this behavior does not align with the standards and therefore justifies discipline, the statement added. As a result, he will be suspended for the first 4 games as a player for the Clippers in the NBA. As soon as the accusation became public, the Texas franchise released the 12th overall pick from the 2021 draft. In response, Primo stated that he was dealing with mental health issues. "I know that, at first, everyone is surprised by the news. I'm already seeking help to deal with the traumas I've experienced in the past. For now, I want to focus on my mental stability. I need more intensive treatment. I hope to be able to discuss these issues with everyone in the future because I want to help others who have suffered as well," the athlete stated in an official statement. Furthermore, through his lawyer, he denied any wrongdoing. He also contested the allegations made by the former Spurs employee. The player claimed that the professional was playing with stereotypes and racial fears for her own financial gain. In an act of betrayal against her young client, Dr. Cawthon falsely claims that Josh Primo exposed himself to her during their numerous therapy sessions. Therefore, the allegations are a complete fabrication, a total fantasy. Josh Primo never intentionally exposed himself to her or anyone else, the lawyer asserted. Moreover, the athlete didn't even know that his private parts were visible outside of his practice shorts. What makes the allegations even less credible is that Dr. Cawthon never informed her patient about the alleged exposure of sexual organs, he added. However, the NBA did not take this interpretation, according to WJ. To prevent further incidents, Primo has been undergoing continuous therapy. He has been assessed by specialists who consult with the Clippers. As a result, the organization felt comfortable giving him the opportunity to return to the NBA, the journalist reported. The expectation is that Primo will spend a significant amount of time in the G League. The team should treat him as a developing player this season. Since entering the NBA, the shooting guard has played in 54 games. His averages were 5.9 points, 2.3 rebounds, and 1.8 assists. And those were the news for this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to this channel, and also hit the notification bell so you won't miss any NBA updates. Until the next video, peace to all.